Hello and welcome guys to Shopify theme development tutorial. Today I'm going to create a slideshow for you. Well, to be precise, it would be a model somewhat like this, and it would be a model gallery. And I am using W3 schools because you all might be aware about W3 schools, how it works. So I'm going to use the gallery created by this whole um, W3 school and put it in a section and create a reusable section so that that can be used by anyone or anytime at any time. So a few things to note. So what I'll do is I'll simply copy this whole code first of all, and I'll copy this whole code, and I'm going to create a section. The name of the section would be custom model gallery, right? It would be a slideshow. So dot liquid, right? It should be, and I'll put the code over here, and as usual I'll put the schema. I'll use the schema, and I'll remove unwanted tags from over here. So for example, I'll remove this unwanted light box thing. I don't need the light box, and yeah, and let's use schema. So schema and schema, right? And schema, in the schema I'm gonna I'm just gonna copy it from over here so that most of the work is uh, done. So if you have not followed my previous video, you can just follow back once again. So in this, instead of using custom text section, I'm gonna name it as custom gallery model. I'll not name it too much big, and I'll give it a class as custom model gallery, and same goes here. Okay, just for the sake of this tutorial, and invalid JSON in tag schema. Okay, let's see what's wrong over here. Name is okay. Okay, we didn't start the schema. We didn't. Okay, now it should be okay. This should be okay. Okay, so if we go back and refresh this page and add a section, we should be able to see that custom gallery model. In that, well, we will see different options. They're not working yet, but they are going to work in a moment. Okay, so now what to do is what you can actually do. We can remove this body part, and this part we can remove. Okay, and put this whole styling in a custom asset. So let's put everything in asset. So assets. So I'll create a new file that should be model gallery dot css, right? and put everything over here, and I'll just copy everything from over here. In fact, I'll cut it and paste it over here, and I'll call this whole section over this. So uh, you know, we can simply use this tag. So we can use custom CSS and using style sheet tag. So now it's not custom CSS, it is model gallery CSS. Okay, and that is again working fine. We'll be able to see the model gallery. For now we can use a dummy image, but yeah, now what you have to see this whole thing is repeating. This is repeating 1 2 3 and 4. This is all repeating. So what we need over here is we need let's see what we need over here. We need image number. So we have this image, we have this okay, so some title coming up with the image, and numbers. So we'll put everything there. So let's see what we can do. So we are going to reduce everything over here to 1, because we are going to use a for loop. But before using a for loop, let's get the things which are there. Okay, so we have block, and inside the block we have text block. The text block would be containing of the text section, this section. So let's name it as description. Title is the best word, right? Title, and then I'm going to use image picker. So if you don't know it, you can actually check it from any section which is being created. You'll be able to see something called image picker. So just find, so you see this image picker, you have to use this image picker, and we can just simply copy this. If you don't want to copy, we can actually write it as well, the type would be image picker, and we need an ID for this. ID would be model image, and we can put a label, and it should be model image select image, not model image, like select image. We save it. What it does is it adds something to our section which we have in here. So let's go down, custom gallery model, and we have okay, I think so it's not saved. Model image ID is not okay. Let's see. Type image picker. Let's see. Oh, actually we do not use dash in this. So underscore should be the thing which we should be using. Okay, so okay, so that's done, and let's refresh again, and it should work. And let's add, and you see we can select the image, and I'm gonna select this image. I'm gonna select another image, and I'm gonna select another image. So name it as cap pants, and t-shirt. Right, save it, and now comes the other part. Now we have this, we can use now the for loop. For block in section dot blocks, right? That gives us the blocks ID. All right, blocks and percent end for, and now we have this block coming up. Now what do we need with this block? We need the ID, that is model image block dot settings dot, so it should be block dot settings dot model ID, that's the model image, and we should get the img underscore URL, and it should be um, grand. Probably we can define the size of it, and the current slide. Now this should be for loop index. Okay, for loop index plus 1. All right, so let's see, we can get the for loop index. So how do we get the for loop index? So we can get for loop. If you don't know it, you can just simply check Shopify documentation. For loop index Shopify. Okay, so iteration, we get the for loop, for loop, for loop, for loop, and let's see if we have the for loop index. Yeah, you see for loop dot index, uh, for loop object, that's an object, and we have the index. Okay, index, so for loop index. So instead of this, we should be using index. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. uh just saved it. Right, we have the image, and that is working fine, that is working good. Let's see, we have this for loop. uh, uh, it doesn't get the index current slide, so let's see for loop dot index. uh, it should be I. small. Let's see. We have 1, we have 2, which should be the case. We have 3, so it's working now. Okay, so make sure that you use all lowercase as it is defined in the Shopify documentation. So that gives us the top section. Now let's move on to the bottom section. So now this is again we remove extra things, so we don't need this one. We can remove this one, we can remove this one. Okay, so we have captions. Okay, captions would be okay, current slide 1. For 2 it is this, and 3 it is this. Okay, so we cancel this whole thing. We can do everything the way it's done for 1. Okay, so we can use for loop here as well. For it's not item over here, it should be block in section dot blocks, and I'm just gonna copy this and put it here as well. And same goes for this one. Okay, so instead of alt text, we are going to use block dot settings dot. Now it should be title, right? It should be title. So settings dot title, and the source would be we can get the source from over here, the way we used it over here. So we can use the same thing, and same goes for over here. And the number would be for loop index, and like for loop we can see the for loop length. This would be for loop length dot length, and this would be for loop index dot index. Okay, and yeah, I think so that completes it. So let's see if it's working fine now. Okay, right, let's see. We have this. Now for this, so we are not able to see the plus minus over here. Let's see. We have this plus minus. Yes, this is changing, this is changing. Good, this is changing. But I want to work. I want it to work like this. So let's see if I did miss something. Okay, so I think so I did miss something from over here. The CSS, did I use complete? Yes, I did. Let's see. Okay, now it's working. We click on it. We see the next one, we see the next one, we see the next one. And that's working fine. Actually, it's not showing it. The down one. That's just because maybe we can just change the sizing of the image a little bit. So that's the gallery size. We can put it the model gallery should be grand. It should be, let's see, 1024x, and let's make it as 500x. Okay. Right now it's okay. But yeah, it's visible actually. It's in the visible spectrum. So you can see that everything over here is working fine the way it should work. Now we have made a custom slider with model with the functionality, like it's a section which we have created, so we can reuse it anywhere and any number of time. So yeah, that's okay, I think so. That's it about creating a custom slider. So let's see, custom slides, make it slides, and we'll name it as slides. That's more relevant over here instead of text. So save it and refresh it, and it should say add slide, add custom slide. um, Now we can add any number of images. Yeah, so hello there. It was camera, the second is cap, the third is pants, and the fourth is t-shirt. Okay, let's see if it is working fine with 4 also. So yeah, it's working fine and amazing. Okay, we can select wait, one thing is not working. Let's see if it is working here. Oh yeah, one thing which is not working is this one. So let's see if we have to, yeah, we have to put the slides. So we can just put the for loop index, because it just shows the first slide. So make sure that you do it the way. So we can put we can create custom sections. So I'll be creating more sections like this. For example, there are mm, tab gallery. We can put a tab gallery over here, and we can use we can create a nav bar, split navigation, not navigation, but yeah, there are a lot of things we can create. Meet the team section. This section we can create with the help of the whole thing. So the whole point is, if you want to create custom sections, it's pretty easy, and it comes up really handy if you want uh, to to deep dive in creation of sections or theme creation. So this is one theme section creation, but we can create multiple theme sections. So I'll be discussing few more theme sections so that you understand it better. Then we move on to actual theme creation. All right, so hopefully you all understood the whole thing which I actually told, and hope you all understood it perfectly. So let me know if there are any issues. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time.